Welcome to Sola and Tota. Our worldview is the lens through which we see the world and the filter through which we understand the world. Everyone has a worldview that they operate from. Everyone has an answer to all the issues of life. The question is, where do these answers come from? That is our worldview, and this is an audio commentary on the contemporary from a biblical worldview. Article: The Idiocy of the Social Justice Demands. The former president of the Organization of Hollywood Foreign Press Association said about the board of directors in light of the Golden Globes. The association, quote, must also ensure everyone from all underrepresented communities gets a seat at our table, and we are going to make that happen, end quote. The organization's current president concluded, quote, that means creating an environment where diverse membership is the norm and not the exception, end quote. He said the group looks forward to, quote, to a more inclusive future, end quote. Say you have a board of directors for your company or organization, and you want that board to be diverse and to be an advocate for social justice. What would you need to do? You would need to be fair and morally upright in who you had on the board that represented the world around you, because that's justice, which is righteousness. It wouldn't be only what may represent your company or organization at that time, because that may be too exclusive. So where would you start? That's tough, because how would you even decide where you start? That might come across as bias, even your starting point. Come to think of it, you really couldn't start, because your bias would influence where you started, and that would create problems that undermine justice. This would especially be the case if you were white yourself, because you supposedly are inherently biased or racist. But for the sake of this case study, you do start. Say you start with ethnicity first. So to not come across like you were quote-unquote racist, you should start with the ethnicity that is most quote-unquote marginalized and oppressed in the current society you live in. To find that out would take some time and research, but how do you even know that the information you're gathering in your research is not biased? Oh man, that may create another problem. Say you find an answer and the ethnic group is, for example, Asian. Do you have an Asian in the company, in your organization? What specific ethnicity of Asian? Is it Japanese, Chinese, Korean? Man, your head starts to hurt and the pressure is building. Can you feel it? Say for argument's sake, you found the proper Asian representative according to social justice standards at that time. Wait, standards? Isn't everything subjective nowadays? Oh, brother. Anyway, is that Asian a male or a female? Well, before the current culture, you would have needed to honor women as equal yet separate, because they are equal in ability, yet women who want to be regarded as such. But nowadays, isn't that all thrown out the window? Because woman isn't even a thing anymore? Oh my goodness. How can this diverse board of directors even be accomplished? You haven't even gotten past the first person with the first issue of ethnicity, and you're already confronted with another category, which is sex. So the pressure then comes with finding all the categories for sex that are recognized at that time. which can be endless because, as the White House now recognizes on their website, when you contact them, you can pick other in the quote-unquote pronouns section. Do you even have that many people in your organization? Wait, you forgot religion. Oh man. Wait, what about disability? You can't not choose someone because they have a disability. You better find one. One? One sounds too exclusive, not diverse enough. What about a little person? Is that even the right term? They're pretty marginalized. What about the category of weight? Or, wait a minute, what about economic class? Blue collar or white collar? Lower class, middle class, or upper class? Oh man, that just opened another can of worms. You know what? You better just close your organization down. That may be easier. There is only one way through which someone can truly seek justice in this world, and that is only in and through the justice and mercy of Jesus Christ. God poured out his justice upon his Son, so that in his Son, as a substitute, sinners can be shown mercy. Mercy is the unmerited favor and pity of God upon a sinner who is guilty and needs to be pardoned before him. It is only when we've been shown mercy by the sovereign Lord can we actually strive to be just, fair in our dealings with mankind. This desire and ability comes when we've been given a new heart by the sovereign grace of God, by the Spirit through the gospel. From there, from proper biblical foundations, can we live seeking justice, loving mercy as we walk humbly with God. The humility being the character, and with God being the agent that produces the character, which lives in a knowledge of the gospel of God's grace. The idiocy of the social justice narrative of our day is tragic. It is a perpetual storm of burdens we can't carry, obedience we can't perform, standards we can't line up to, and justice we don't have vision for, that are all heaped up upon human beings from the subjective, autonomous hypocrites that are the blind leading the blind. We need to wake up. We need to wake up and see the justice and mercy of God in Christ Jesus. That is the only way that we can have eyes to see the world around us.